Okay, Roanoke, Jamestown, and Plymouth, day 4. I've changed the plan a little tiny bit from the original schedule, and I'm going to update it. So we're going over some more information, some kind of synthesizing the information that we either you read or you listened to me read about the colonies. Some of it should have been review. Um, so I'm just reminding you and thinking about how these groups came to these 3 spots for different reasons. Let's look at the map again for a second. We know the Roanoke was first in 1587. Success or failure? Big time failure. Jamestown was about 20 years later, landing further north in Virginia near Chesapeake Bay. Success? Yes, success. Although they had many things that made things difficult for them. Pilgrims, 1620, landing here in Massachusetts, although they were supposed to land somewhere further south. So that was one of their first failures. Um, So what we're going to do today is I'm going to go through this thing called the sensory figure to kind of think about what we know about Roanoke, and then I'd like you to do the same thing for Jamestown or Plymouth, your choice. You don't need to turn it in. I want to see people start accessing this stuff, though, or I am going to start making it work that you'll have to turn it in, and nobody wants that, right? Okay. Okay, if we had been in school, I would have done this lesson a little bit differently. I would have done Actually, would have done something with this picture. This picture is kind of a famous picture of the scene of what could have may have happened when John White returned to Roanoke after being gone for 3 years, and they found like this is a chest in the back that's like overturned. There's things like this is armor. You can see the top of the stockade fence here. This is the interior of like the fort, and the word Croatoan has been carved here, and what does it mean? And does it mean that's where everybody's gone, or does it mean they were attacked? So it's all these things that we don't know about what really happened to the groups here. So we're going to fill this in. We're going to talk about what we see here. So what this shows us is all kind of references the different senses, right? Like what you hear, you see, you taste, you touch, smell, perhaps. So if we look at this word bank at the bottom, this is just giving us ideas of things we could use. There's not really a right or wrong here, but I'm just going to kind of go through some possible answers with you. So if we think about I listened, right? I listened to the original set of sailors who had scoped out the island of Roanoke, and they said that it was filled with fish, animals, fruits, vegetables, and plentiful, and that the natives were friendly. It was a great place to settle. But was it, is the question. So we know the English were in a race to settle North America. They were behind the Spanish for sure. They were kind of in a race with the French and the Dutch, so they want to get their hold of a colony in the New World quickly too. So, but we know the people who came to Roanoke really came, they wanted a chance at a better life, but they really weren't prepared. They didn't know how to farm. They didn't know how to get supplies. They did not come with enough things to begin with. So I ate little food because we did not know how to raise crops. And this is kind of a reoccurring thing with all 3 colonies, that they lacked the actual understanding of how to actually farm because they may have actually come from more like a city kind of urban experience in England. So John White, we know, has to go back to England. So I watched John White sail back to England for supplies. Um, John White, was their leader. He left behind his own family, his daughter, his grown daughter, who had her own daughter, Virginia Dare. There's a whole famous story about her, the first English child born in the New World. Um, so John White, we know, reaches England and is stuck in England for 3 years because England is at war with Spain, and every ship is needed for that. When he returns, no one is there. With my hand's eye, maybe this colonist carved the word Croatoan on the gatepost, which maybe was a message about where the colonists went. Maybe it was a message about what had happened to them. We don't know. Lots of cool elements to the mystery of that story. And then what we get left here is Sir Walter Raleigh. I felt sorry for or angry at Sir Walter Raleigh, who wanted to establish a colony in North America but did not provide enough skilled workers to make the colony successful. You might recognize the name Sir Walter Raleigh because the capital of North Carolina today is Raleigh, North Carolina. Okay, so this was just a way to kind of synthesize a little bit. It was like a note-taking activity based on the information that we had read about Roanoke or heard about Roanoke earlier. I'd like you to do the same thing, either pick Plymouth or Jamestown, go back and reread the section, the whole section. Let me find it for you. The whole section is located, here's Google Classroom, um, right here. Full reading, Roanoke, Jamestown Public, that's the whole thing if you want to do that. If you'd rather go back and listen, you can pick either Tuesday or Wednesday and listen to me read that section. And then you can open up one of these things and you can look at it from there. You will also see, it's not attached at the moment, but I will be attaching a Kahoot vocab. If you did not make your vocab like you were supposed to on Monday, please go back and do that because you will need those vocab words. I did include a filled in TMV right here if you want to use that, or you could make your own to help you remember. Or you could see if you have your red folder at home with you, maybe it's in there. The words include things like cash crop, compact, self-rule, so check that out. Okay. So I know I wasn't giving like assignments of things that you had to turn in and do, but I still need you to do it and try. So then tomorrow we'll go over a few things again, and then I have like a big group that we can try remotely. I think I did include in the directions here. Let's see. Back over here. Oh yeah. So like it said, the directions for today. First, watch the video I'm going to model. That's what this is. 2, then I want you to go back and pick one of these to fill in. 3, practice your vocab by playing Kahoot. You will need 2 devices, a computer and a phone, etc., or a phone and a tablet to be able to play Kahoot this way. I know we were able to do this, or some of you were able to do this, so let's give it a shot. One of my ultimate goals for us, though, would be to be able to play Kahoot like in a live version, which would be pretty amazing. We'd all have to then probably log into Microsoft Teams and do it, but let's make it a goal. I think that would be amazing. Okay, so the Kahoot will be listed right down here after I attached it. I'm sorry, it's attached at the moment. The link will be there, and you'll be able to get in. And I'm looking forward to hearing what you have to say about that game. All right, talk to you later.